Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in the Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and today I'm going to do a little change. I'm going to do a book review for you. I'm currently in the middle of what I'm calling Land of the Rising Sun Week, where I'm actually building 10 Japanese small aircraft, and I've been busy painting today, but I'm just having a little rest, so I'm going to tuck into this rather nice bottle of sake that I've got, and I'm going to munch on a few sweets, and I'm going to flick through some pages on this book for you to have a look at. So here we go. Just to give you a little bit of history on this book, I actually bought this around about 1990 when I was about 14, so it's been in my possession for around about 33 years. I did actually try to sell it on eBay once, but I've still got it unfortunately, so here we go. You can actually pick one of these up for as little as between sort of £3.5 and £5 with the postage. So it's a nice book. It's got lots of nice pretty pictures in it of military aircraft and their profile markings. So obviously at the front you get a little bit of a preface, and you get some introductory bits and bobs telling you about what's going on in the world. First World War, Second World War, fighters, bombers, etc, etc, right up to the near present day. Our B-52s and our Tornadoes. There's nothing modern in here obviously, because like I say, it was printed in 1990. So let's cut to the chase and we'll move on to the profile section, which starts in 1914 to 35, World War I and after. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm just going to flick through the pages. I'm not going to read anything out to you. I'm just going to let you have a look at all the pictures. So the first two we've got is the Avro 504 and an SE5A. Then we're moving on to Sopwith Camel with a pretty checkerboard. Oh, I forgot, I haven't actually started my sake yet. Hang on a second. Do apologise. I think what will happen is when I come to a Japanese plane is I'll have a sweetie. So I won't be having any for a while. Then we move on to an Albatros DV. It's Edelweiss colouring on the back, and this is pretty cool. Look at the wing on that one. I think that's going to make me want to go and buy one of these Albatros DVs just so I can make a mess of doing that. We move on to the famous tri-wing Fokker DR1. And we move on to the interwar period, where we've got the Bristol Bulldog, the Hawker Hart, and then we move on to a Hawker Fury and the Grumman G5. It's not particularly a pretty looking plane. Cheers. The Poing P26 pea shooter. It's a pretty cool design. And we're going into the abyss. This is the Second World War period and just before, 1935 to 1945. And we have a Bristol Blenheim Mark 1. Some Romanian colours, that's interesting. And some Yugoslavian Air Force, 1937. So there's a customer. We have our Gloucester Gauntlet. The famous Douglas DC-3, commonly known as the Dakota. It's a rather nice one. Kind of reminds me of the Dutch Football Club. And then we've got an early 1970s one with Pratt & Whitney engines. Moving on to the famous Junkers Ju-52. With a whole bunch of Spanish nationalist markings and some Portuguese as well. The Fairy Swordfish, including a float plane. A Heinkel HE-111, including some Luftwaffe Iraq, April 1941, with the markings crudely obliterated. Also got Slovakian Air Force, 1943, and the post-war Spanish. The Savio Marchetti SM-79, the famous tri-motor. It's an interesting colour for the Lebanese Air Force in 1956. Curtis Helldiver. It's a funny looking one, isn't it? The Gloucester Gladiator. Belgium. That's a nice with a falling star there, with a nice cover art. The Hawker Hurricane. Lots of British. Then we've got some Western Desert, North Africa. We've got a captured one with German test markings on. We've got a Yugoslavian squadron as well. And the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress, including a captured version, a captured variant with bright yellow markings underneath. The famous Flying Pencil, DO-17. Here we have the Messerschmitt Bf-109, a variety of colours. It's quite an interesting one for Finland, 1943 to 44. The Fairy Battle, what a disaster that plane was. Oh, that's a nice one for the 8th Service Training Flying School, RCAF Moncton, Canada. We have the Junkers Ju-87, including this interesting Royal Bulgarian Air Force one from 1944. Feisler Fi-156 Stork. That's an interesting one there. Italian Air Force in Albania, 1941. And Vietnam Armed Forces, 1951. We've got a Bristol Blenheim Mark IV with the obvious nose alteration. Armstrong Whitworth Whitley. I've read somewhere that this actually flew on an angle. That was the only way they could get it to go forward. Vought SB-2U Vindicator. I believe this was another aircraft that was not particularly successful. The Focke-Wulf FW200 Condor. It's armed to the teeth with a really rocket, I think, there. Marine Saulnier MS-406, including a Finnish Air Force one. And a Swiss Air Force one from 1944 to 45. We move on to the Supermarine Spitfire, a Polish squadron. The US Air Force in Tunisia. The Messerschmitt Bf-110. North African variant. Again, we've got one of these strange Iraqi Luftwaffe supplied plane to the Iraqi uprising. And we've got a Lockheed Hudson. A Douglas A-20 Boston. That's an interesting camouflage pattern there. Morocco, 1942. No Japanese planes yet. I want some Japanese sweets. The PBY Catalina. The Bolton Paul Defiant with its rear facing gun mount. Another failure by the British, this one. The Junkers Ju-88. That's a pretty cool design. The Night Fighter radar set. A Fiat CR-42. Hungarian Air Force. Strange. Hooray! Mitsubishi Zero Sen. I get a Japanese Kit Kat. Nom nom. Got a float plane variant there as well. Look at that for a Kit Kat. White chocolate with brown bits in it. A Bristol Beaufighter. Or is it Beaufighter? That's nice. A Grumman Avenger. The Netherlands Naval Air Service in 1954. There's a Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force in 1960. It was still going. It's not a Japanese plane. I suppose it is, really. I'll have a little bit. A Henschel HS-129. This is a pretty cool one. It's got a 75mm Pak 40 cannon anti-tank gun underneath it. Eastern Front 1944, quite like that design. That's obviously sort of field applied. Curtis Hawk. The Flying Tigers in China. Western Desert. The BV-138. The Flying Clog, I think they call this one. It's a rather strange looking aircraft. I think I actually want to get one of these because it's kind of weird. Kind of like in the float planes as well. A Short Sunderland. My neighbour, when he was a kid, he had one of these. It was massive. It was a massive thing. It was bloody huge. One of the ugliest planes going, in my opinion, the Brewster Buffalo. We've got the Dutch East Indies Air Force. We've got more Dutch East Indies here. Finnish. And the Dutch East Indies again. The Douglas Dauntless. And I've just spied myself another Japanese plane. There's a Free French one, the Cross of Lorraine. I'm going to have this Countryman Chocolate Chip Vanilla Cookie. Because we've got a Nakajima KI-49 Donryu. Now that's an interesting design, I like that one. Northeast China, mid-1944. That's obviously silver, and then they've sprayed a... Oh, I like that one. I might have to buy one of those just to try and do that one. There goes a cookie with two little pieces of chocolate in it. Yeah, it's got loads of that. It's got loads of chocolate in it. That's good. Marchi MC205. The Italians with their incredibly intricate spray artwork. B-24 Liberator with a huge US flag on it. I challenge anybody to paint a B-24 Liberator in that colour. Maybe I'll do it one day. Little Grandpa. This is one of my favourite aircraft of World War II. North American B-25. Famous for the Doolittle raid. It's a nice one with British D-Day markings on it. A Bat. That's a Falcon. Mitsubishi GMG4M Betty. That means I get another Kit Kat. And it's a beige chocolate one this time. That's pretty cool. Air Technical Arsenal. Japan. Lockheed Ventura. New Zealand Air Force. And that one from South African Air Force. Focke-Wulf FW190. And it's got the crosses blacked out because it's a night fighter. A Grumman Hellcat. Oh, we got the Uruguayan Air Force, late 1950s. And there's French Navy, 1953. Surprising how long some of these were going. I'm just trying to eat this chocolate biscuit. De Havilland Mosquito, the famous Mozzie. That's a pretty cool colour markings. D-Day stripes again. The Israeli Air Defence Force. Doesn't say what year. Chinese Nationalist Air Force, Hankow, 1948. Martin B-26 Marauder. Cool nose art on that one. Bell P-39 Air Cobra. I've never liked this plane. Apparently this guy was quite successful with it, this Russian guy. Aircraft of Russian ace Major Alexander Pokryshikin. Total of 55 kills. This one here we've got Stormo Italian Code Belligerent Air Force, Italy in late 1944. A Vought F4U Corsair. It's a New Zealand Air Force. A French one, an Argentinian one from 1958. Petliakov PE2. Got a Polish Air Corps one there. And a Finnish one. It was captured by the German army in Russia and given to the Finns, that one. I think I've got one of these as a model. I might want to build that. I've got Lag 3. Looks a little bit like a Kitty Hawk, that. Or Curtis Hawk. Lockheed P-38 Lightning. Got another captured one by the Germans. Got the Nationalist Air Force in China again. North American P-51 Mustang. You would have thought that'd get 2 pages. Such a famous aircraft. Avro Lancaster. We've got a French one there. That's a pretty cool one. Night Squadron RAF India, 1946. Probably painted white to stop it overheating. An Illusion IL-2. It's an interesting one with the sort of the cover removed. And you've got Czechoslovak Air Force, 1948-49. North American Harvard. This is obviously quite well used for as a trainer, although we've got a Swedish Air Force there as well. Republic P-47 Thunderbolt. Again, we've got another downed one remarked in German. And we've got the bubble top versions. It's a nice colour. That's Germany summer 1945. Douglas A-26 Invader. Interesting colour again. That was in Alaska, 1957. Blackburn Firebrand. I think we're just moving into the sort of just after the post-war service now. Yeah, this one's 1950 with a torpedo. Boeing B-29 Super Fortress. And we got one supplied to Bomber Command RAF Marham, February 1942. I think that when the British were given some of these and they called it the Washington. Lockheed Neptune. I love this colour of aviation here. This is South Vietnam 1968. Lockheed P-80. We've got a Hawker Fury. It's an interesting colour. Cuban Revolutionary Air Force 1960. We've got Baghdad Fury, Iraqi Air Force 1948. And a Pakistani Air Force 1950. It's not enough Japanese planes for my liking. Armstrong Whitworth Meteor. Royal Egyptian Air Force. Oh, sorry. We have actually moved on to the Cold War years, 1945 to 1961. Douglas AD Skyraider. It's got a big radar on it. A DH Vampire, de Havilland. Swiss Air Force, Rhodesian Air Force, French Air Force, North American Sabre. Well, that's an interesting one. 2nd Squadron South African Air Force, Korea, 1953. Convair B-36. That was a big plane. It's got an orange tail on it. The MiG Guri. Oh, we're just going to call it a MiG. MiG-15, the famous old MiG-15. The Hungarian Air Force, the Czech Air Force. It's pretty cool. Orange. The Grand Panther or Cougar. That's an interesting one with the shark's teeth on it. Them teeth look real. They look spiky. The Sikorsky S-55, our first helicopter. There's a Canadian Air Force one there. Boeing B-47. It's an interesting colourway. 100 Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, US Air Force, McClellan Air Force Base, 1958. B-52 bomber. First seal of action 1955 and still going now apparently. McDonnell Douglas A4. Got the Singapore Air Force there, we haven't seen one of them before. Argentinians, Kuwaiti, Israeli, Indonesian, New Zealand. We sold a lot of these obviously. Republic F-84. That's a Dutch version. A Greek, German, French, Taiwan. No American markings. Hawker Hunter. That's a cool colourway. RAF Farnborough, UK, 1964. That's a Singaporean one. That's RAF Valley. That's not far from me. That's on near Anglesey. North American F-100. And more of them. 2 Danish markings. French, Turkish. A Grumman Tracker. I'm going to get any more Japanese aircraft, am I? Right, okay, well there's a Japanese aircraft, so I'm going to have this pink thing. Looks like a marshmallow. I think these are called Hawkeye. Are these Hawkeyes? I'm not quite sure. There we go. Hang on. Nom nom. So we've got Dutch Air Force here. We've got Thai, Japanese, Peruvian, Taiwan, and South Korea. Lockheed C-130 Hercules. Extended version that the British produced. Argentine. That's nice. Republic F-105. All Americans. MiG-21. Syrian. Indian Air Force. Iraqi Air Force. Lockheed U-2, the spy plane. I don't think they sold these to anybody else. That's an interesting colour. Convair F-102. Greek Air Force, Turkish. That one's in Vietnam. Moving on to the Avro Vulcan. That's the Black Book mission one. And they took off in, was it Montserrat, I think it was, to bomb the air base at Stanley. McDonnell Douglas F-101 Voodoo. 2 American, Canadian, South Vietnam, American obviously, Taiwan, mid-1960s. Chancellor F-8 Crusader. Hercules 500, sorry, Hughes 500 series helicopter. Otherwise known as the Loach. Finnish Air Force there. English Electric Lightning. Only about 40 pages to go, don't worry. Bear with me. Convair F-106. It's got to be one of the most awesomest paint schemes you've got in here. City of Jacksonville. 125th Fighter Interceptor Group, Florida. Jacksonville, USA, 1976. The Saab Draken. Sold to the Finns and the Danish. Westland Sea-King helicopter. Haven't seen any more Japanese yet. British Aerospace Sea Harrier. And a Harrier, also licensed built by Americans. Dassault Mirage 3. The RGs. Yeah. Lockheed P3 Orion. Islamic Republic of Iran Air Force. It's a pretty cool colour. Vietnam and beyond, says 1961 to the present day. Yeah, present day being 1990, obviously. It's only 34 years ago, makes me feel really old. McDonnell Douglas F4 Phantom 2. Eee. We got another one. Japanese Air Self-Defense Force. That earns me a Pichaku piece of chocolate. Not sure. Not chocolate. Oh, what the hell is that? Oh, it's chewing gum. Cola flavoured chewing gum. Nice. I've got an Israeli Defence Force there. Aerospace Alouette 3. Irish. That's the first Irish player we've seen. Jordanian. Portuguese. Blackburn Buccaneer. Oh, nice. You don't want to listen to me chewing though, do you? Northrop F5. They call a Freedom Fighter or something like that. This was largely built for export, I think, this one. So we got there Canada, Jordan, Nellis Air Force Base USA, Miramar, that's the Top Gun Flight School, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Moroccan, and Taiwan. The famous Belarusian UH-1 Huey. Cool colourway. North American A5. Grumman A6 Intruder. The Sepcat Jaguar. Oh, Indian and Nigerian now. Nigerian. First time we've seen a Nigerian. The German, I think this is Messerschmitt, isn't it? MBB BO-105. Little helicopter. Cool colourway for Chile. Swedish. Sikorsky CH-53 S-65. I think that's the Marine 1. The Marine 1 is not the Marine 1 helicopter. Not sure. Vought A7 Corsair 2. Normally on the carriers them, I think, aren't they? I'm not sure. Lockheed F-104. Got Danish, Taiwan, Greek, Turkish, West German. British Aerospace Strike Master. Kenyan Air Force. New Zealand, Singapore, Saudi Arabia. F-111 Aardvark. General Dynamics. That's a cool plane. I think I might forget one of those. I do like that one. And we've got North American Rockwell OV-10. Indonesian Air Force. Strangely, we've got a Beech King Air in here. It's kind of a civilian sort of plane, but this is pretty cool. It's Military Intelligence Battalion, US Army, South Korea, 1987. Got all that. Got a whole load of sensors and whatnot going on. And you got the old MiG-27, or MiG-23, MiG-27. A Czech and a Cuban, East German, Czechoslovak, and a Soviet. Fokker F-27. Another transport plane. Senegambia Air Force, Senegal. It's probably Senegal, isn't it? Aerospace Westland Puma. Oh, that's a cool colourway. I like that one. Irish and Brazilian. The famous Boeing CH-47 Chinook. Sukhoi Su-7. Look at the colour on that and that. It's Algerian. They are crazy in Algeria. Grumman F-14 Tomcat. It's a cool colourway. Not long to go. MIL Mi-24 Hind. I've got an Iraqi one here. Flag on it. The Salt Mirage F1. Spanish, South African, Moroccan, Iraqi. McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle, still going strong. Got another Japanese one. Here we go. I'm going to have one of these. This is a something. Don't know. It's a sweet. It looks like something you take for indigestion. Apparently it's bubble candy. Don't know. Oh, it's fizzy. Oh my god. My whole mouth is fizzing up. That's unfair. That's unfair. Lockheed S3 Lightning. That's a cool one. Celebration of the Bicentennial, 1976. Oh my god. Bit of Aerospace Hawk. Yeah, I'm glad to be gone with that. A Fairchild F8, sorry, A10. That's an interesting one. Sikorsky H60, the Apache. Oh, another Japanese one. What are we going to open now? I'm going to open this thing. Corn Potage. Oh my god, it's a big crisp. Westland Lynx. It's like a big what's it. Quite nice though. General Dynamics F16. An interesting one. Israeli Defence Forces around 1980. Panavia Tornado. Saudi Arabian one looks pretty cool. And that's your lot. So, hope you enjoyed this little video. I actually bought this when I was about 13 or 14. I remember I got it from a thing called the Military and Aviation Book Society. They're one of these things you used to find in a back of a magazine, and you could buy books for £3, and you could buy like 5 or 6, and they'd send them to you for like, you get 5 or 6 nice books like this for about 20 quid, and then they'd send you another book every month for 21, and you 20 for like 20 quid, and you were kind of forced to buy it, otherwise you had to send it back. And I was about 13 or 14 at the time, so that was like my pocket money for about a month. Consequently, it got cancelled pretty quickly, but we still got this one left, and it's kind of useful at the moment. So thanks for watching tonight. As you guessed, I'm eating all these Japanese things and eating these Japanese munchies because I'm actually doing my little Japanese week. So we've got Hein here, we have a gecko, we have a jack, we have a Shion, we have a, oh, I can't remember that one, something else, and we have a Tojo. And we're going to finish all these off tonight, hopefully, and we'll build something else tomorrow. So cheers, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'm going to finish off all these sweets. Be seeing you.